Uh, Good morning. Last class we have seen about some types of heat exchanger, and in this class we will see about something on the overall heat transfer coefficient. Okay. Before that, I will finish up something. I told that last class we are discussing about the temperature distribution in a parallel heat exchanger, and the temperature distribution in the counterfeit exchanger. Suppose this is a length. Okay, length L. Okay, 0 to L. I told that I will put here something else. 0 will be this is 0. Okay, and this is L. Okay. Yellow. How I can plot the temperature along the length? So what the inlet temperature of hot fluid will be very high, correct? So if we put the L, X is temperature now is temperature T will be high, okay? And while moving in this direction, what will happen? It will lose heat to the cold fluid. Okay, then what will happen? This temperature of hot fluid will decrease up to this point will decrease. Okay. Similarly, if you plot the temperature of the cold fluid, so it is also same direction. So what is inlet temperature of cold fluid? Very low. And while going in this the L direction, what will happen? When the cold fluid will absorb its heat from the hot fluid and it will increase the temperature, okay, up to this point it increases, okay. But in case of counter flow, remember carefully, both are in opposite directions. What is the direction of hot fluid? In this direction, okay, along the L, okay, hot fluid, okay, along the L. What is the direction of cold fluid? Along the negative direction, okay. Therefore, see inlet temperature hot this one, it will decrease up to some point it will decrease, okay. What about cold fluid? It will here to see in this L only is low, correct? So I'll part here some point number. Well, coming in this direction will increase and after reach this point. These two graphs, if this remember, these two calculation is by parallel flow and counter flow, just remember this, okay. Okay, thank you. Next one we can go for overall heat transfer coefficient, okay, and we can see about the theory and some problem also we will solve. We will see, okay. I have already discussed the overall heat transfer coefficient in the first class, the first lectures on conduction, okay. What is in the overall heat transfer coefficient? Please remember carefully. It is given by symbol generally called U. What is the unit means what? Heat transfer coefficient means unit is what? Watt per meter square Kelvin. Generally I have given same unit only. So what is the overall heat transfer coefficient? Is nothing but the, please remember carefully. You remember carefully, Q is equal to, right here. Q is equal to, it's very important. Q is equal to UA, okay, delta T M. Okay, just remember this one. Q is equal to U delta T. U is the overall heat transfer coefficient. What is my U? U is nothing but the proportionality constant, okay, which when multiplied by the mean temperature difference between the fluids, okay, mean temperature difference between the fluids and the surface area of heat exchanger will give the heat transfer rate. Very good. The Q is equal to UA delta M, okay. From the formula set you have to find the, you have to explain derivation, okay, you have to explain the derivation, the definition, okay. So what is the overall heat transfer coefficient? Overall heat transfer coefficient nothing but the proportionality constant which when multiplied by the mean temperature difference of the fluid, okay, and area of the heat exchanger, surface area of heat exchanger will give the heat transfer rate, okay. And in this case we can consider about the double vacuum heat exchanger, okay. Double vacuum heat exchanger consists of a hot fluid pipe and cold fluid pipe, this is concentric pipe. And suppose how I can write the resistance in this, in here also fluid flow, here also fluid will flow, okay. So fluid means what? Convection. So here also I have one convection heat transfer occurring, and here also converting heat transfer occurring, okay. And what about thickness? The pipe is having the thickness, correct? So inside is what? Conduction occur. So how I can put the resistance diagram? I will put the temperature of the T in, I put Ti here, and I put T outer, I will put like this, okay. And here will be one resistance by convection will be there, another resistance by conduction will be there, another resistance by convection will be there, okay. What the resistance of convection? What? Q is equal to H A del T. So Q is equal to del T C. Q is equal to del T by R. Okay, R means 1 by H A. H A. Okay, here. Here. Okay, what is the wall? I will tell you. What of the outer? Same conversion 1 by H naught A naught. Is based on inner diameter, is based on outer diameter of the area. Okay. What about the wall? In the wall we have what? Conduction taking this. Okay. It comes under what? It comes under cylinder. Cylinder. What the resistance for a cylinder? Very good example is there, no? Ln of, see, ln of R2 by R1 divided by 2 pi L K. Okay, it's very important because you are going to see conduction. Just to go to the conduction notes, you will find it. Okay. Don't worry, this formula will be there in the data book. Don't need to mark up anything. You can be studying. I want you to understand very much. Okay. Why they put D naught means anyway, ln of R2 by R1 also means that both will get cancelled only. So we can get R by R only. So both are same only. Yes, it's a ratio. Okay. So what is the resistance? Total resistance of this means what? R is equal to R total. Okay. Okay. Internal resistance because of convection, heat transfer in the hot fluid side with the wall resistance of the pipe, and outer conductive resistance in the cold field side. Okay, so we'll get here all the resistance. Okay, and I already told you formula Q is equal to UA delta A delta D. And what about Q is equal to delta D by R. If delta D by R put so what up how I can write it? It means what delta D by 1 by UA, correct? 1 by UA I can write now. So what I can do is that 1 by UA is equal to R, correct? 1 by U is equal to R. Okay, that means here I put what 1 by U I A I. See 1 by U not A I, because why means if you consider the AI inner diameter, inner surface area of the heat exchanger, you get one different value for UA. Okay, that is overagglutinin coefficient based on the inner diameter. Okay, or inner area. If you consider A naught outer area of this hard pipe, it what another U naught. Both are same. Is equal means 1 by U I A is equal to 1 by U naught inner. But UA is not equal to U naught. It's more important. Any matter is not equal. Just you get is R, because Q is equal to delta T by R. Very simple. Q is equal to delta T by R. From this I can write Q is equal to delta T by 1 by UA. That means 1 by UA is equal to R. That only I put. That's I put the 1 by UA is equal to what? I put R, all this I put. Okay. This is called what? From this you can find U now. What is U? You just keep the U, take the U here, everything you bring it down. You will get what? You will get. That's all the orally that's a question. Okay. Suppose if you remember that the thickness of the pipe is very small. Thickness is very small, and the metal is highly corroded like copper or something. Then what you can do? Because very small means what? A is equal to A naught, correct? Suppose if I consider this as a small pipe, thickness is very low means what? A is equal to A naught, correct? So this two will be automatically cancelled, because you can take it cancel. And R means what? It's very highly conductive, but resistance will be low. This will become 0, correct? And in this case, what we have? This will be reduced to this one. This is very important, because in the lab we and this only 1 by U is equal to 1 by Hi by 1 by H naught. Okay, this is generally for very small thickness tube and highly conductive material. Okay, this is very important. From this you can find U. So now we can go for one sum. Okay, thank you.